Brian, 3 in a row. Does that constitute you're on a roll now?
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, we haven't done it in the last couple of years, so that's an achievement in itself.
What's been the difference?
Oh, we probably played 3 teams that were down on their luck and probably at their back end of their run, I guess, in South's case. And good news for Gold Coast is the last 2 teams we've beaten to come good the next week, so get on them.
Some powerhouse ball running, that sort of looked like a difference there. Junior Sow was really effective, your back rowers and fringes. I mean, was that the key for you guys tonight?
Yeah, we've been trying to play a bit more positively. Probably 5 or 6 weeks ago, as a coaching staff, we sort of asked the boys to try to find one more pass, not necessarily to a bloke going the other direction like we tried to do a couple of times tonight, but we wanted to ask better questions. We thought we needed to do that to take a bit of pressure off our defence by chewing some more petrol out of the opposition's tank, and of course on the scoreboard we want to score some more points, and I think the boys have done a pretty good job with that.
Ron, are you impressed with how your team's absorbing pressure? Like the Titans seem to get off to a really good start and you were able to counterpunch a couple of times.
I thought that was a really an important part of what we did well tonight. We anticipated the Titans got an outstanding home record. They got an outstanding statistical record in the first half and the first 20 minutes. And as it turned out, they got a string of penalties, and they did mount some pressure on us. The boys withstood it quite well, and then the quality of the try that the boys scored down this right edge after Simo had sort of laid a bit of a foundation there, and Gids back on the inside of the pass from Jimmy I thought it was, it's the sort of stuff that you get a lot of. You get a nice feeling out of, because it's the sort of stuff you work on.
Goal line defence like that at the start of a game, is that about attitude or is it about defensive systems, or a nice combination? You
need both. You can have all the right attitude in the world if you're not, strategically, if everyone's not aware of what each other are doing, or someone makes just one bad call, and we did a couple of times tonight, but across the board we've improved that part of our game quite a lot. But I've just finished talking to the boys inside there and saying to them, everybody, we've got a large contingent. We brought all our full-time players, and we've got 7 or 8 blokes there that are due back in the next 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, and like me, they're all praying that we get the job done, because 1 or 2 losses at this stage means we're out. So we're all riding them, because they all want to play in these big games that are coming up. There's a bit of pressure there, and so far we're handling it. But I'm saying to the boys, I think to handle what we've got to do next week, which is go to Canberra and play, I think we'd need to improve on what we did tonight. I think that's might be the understatement of the year.
I suppose we've had 3 good wins. Obviously, I think we can play a lot better, and we're going to need to play better in the coming weeks. I think the few sides we've got, especially starting with Canberra next week, they're playing really well at the moment. So don't want to put a dampener on it. I think we've been playing a lot better than what we have, but I think there's still a lot of improvement there.
And were you better tonight than you were against Parramatta, in your view?
Yes and no. I think certain areas we were. I think our attack was a little bit more fluent in certain areas, and I think our defence still needs a little bit of work. Even though I only scored 12 points, I still think there's a lot of room for improvement there. So we've got some work to do, but we're heading in the right direction, I think.
Steve, is it a real positive, the fact that whilst players individuals are shining, it's genuinely a collective effort, like everyone's playing very solid footy?
Yeah, it is. It's great to be part of a team like that, I think. So everyone's doing their little job that they've got to do to make the team go well. So we've just got to keep chipping away at that.
To be fair, at that point I think the game was pretty much done and dusted, but if I remember correctly, I think he chip-kicked the ball within the first couple of minutes. No shortage of confidence there, and it was a good kick. I thought, there was a space there between our defensive line and the fullback. He read it well, and maybe a little bit more luck with the bounce, they might have scored a try off it. So it doesn't appear as if he's going to die wondering.
What's your view on bloody kids that are in year 11 and 16?
I'll be the last one if you're looking for a comment about shouldn't play them. I've given hundreds of kids that go at it over the years. I like what I read. Someone showed me where John Cartwright had said, you know, he was concerned about how he was physically and mentally, and you know, I don't know him at all. So you know, Carty's been around. He knows what that boy's capable of physically, and it's a bit scary. I can imagine his mum and dad were probably a family were a bit nervous, but you know, he seems it's a reasonable build, and it's probably the worry I think with that sort of situation is more if you play them over and over and over again in a losing team, and they can't defend themselves, they get bashed around a bit. But as a one-off, it probably did him the world of good tonight. He's been in pretty good form, Dukes, and he's I think Simo came back into our team last week and again obviously this week, and it's added a bit of a confidence lift I think for our team, and it adds a bit more physical component. And when Dukes is in that sort of form as he's been the last few weeks, it adds a bit more thrust. And then we've got a couple of younger kids who've done that as well. You know, Junior Sow, as you pointed out, he's been really strong for us as well. So we've got a bit of physical about us. But I actually watched the Canberra game on replay today. They got some physical about them too. So we'll need to get some tough pills ready for next weekend, I think.
Is it to make change after 3 successive wins or not hard at all?
Yeah, well, there'll be some, I suppose, but I'm not going to think too much about that just yet. We'll enjoy tonight. It's not an easy place to come, and I know they're down on some troops, but we're down a few ourselves at the moment. Our boys did a good job, so I think we deserve to enjoy the night a little bit.